sunshine.
Good morning.
Are you ready for the day?
No.
No.
I didn't sleep good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
I can barely open my eyes. What?
It's a gorgeous day.
It looks really nice out there.
It's really beautiful. We're gonna cross the border today.
Ecuador, here we come. Da, 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 dum, da, 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 dum.
We parked outside of the cable car to get from here over across Las Lajas, a beautiful sanctuary built into the mountains. And it's like been the most quiet, beautiful, amazing night's sleep for me in such a long time. I can't believe Trent slept terribly. You feeling okay?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So this is our first border crossing in South America. We're really excited to see how it varies from all the border crossings we've been through in Central America. We have a couple things working against us. It's a holiday weekend. There's a lot of immigrants from Venezuela. It's early in the morning and it's a Saturday. Early in the morning is usually better. Weekends are usually worse. So we'll kind of see once we get there what it looks like. We actually parked next to another overlanding couple last night.
They were an older German couple that was in a truck and a camper, and they told us that they just crossed the Ecuadorian-Colombian border yesterday and entered Colombia. They said it was the longest border crossing that they've ever done, and they said it took 4+ hours. We're expecting this to be a really long day. Made it to the border. We're about to go get our passports stamped, all of our aduanas checked out of Colombia. But first, check out this huge tent. This huge white tent right here is a medical station for Venezuelans that are crossing. Basically, these guys are walking for days or weeks or months. When they get here, a lot of them are sick and injured, so they have these medical tents set up at the border to help them out.
Sí, ya. ¿Y dónde está?
El edificio siguiente.
Ok, perfecto, gracias.
Bueno, chao.
Well, the Colombian side was extremely easy. I think we spent like 20-25 minutes.
At the most.
We got our passport stamped, we got our TIP turned in, we even got our cash exchanged for the currency that they use in Ecuador, which if you didn't know, is the American dollar. I still find it so incredibly strange that there's all these countries around the world, or at least a handful of countries around the world, that use the US dollar.
That part was super smooth. Now, fingers crossed, the next part is just as fast and easy.
Let's go jump in the van and cross the border.
Hola, buenas.
¿Podemos parqueo aquí? Okay.
We're officially in Ecuador. However, we've got to go through immigration, we've got to go through customs, we've got to do everything for the vehicle, and I know this is going to be a long experience, so I brought some snacks.
Let's go.
Let the circus begin.
En la esquina.
Aquí es para el van.
I think this has been our fastest border crossing yet. She's over here. They're gonna go take a picture of our van and our motorcycle, and then I think we're ready to go. Hopefully this portion goes quickly because I think it's only been like maybe an hour and a half at most.
Woo! We did it!
That was quick.
That was so quick! It was actually a really well-organized border, especially compared to some of the other borders we've been through. They know there are a lot of Venezuelan immigrants coming through Colombia into Ecuador, and there are Red Cross tents set up, vaccination stations, free showers and bathrooms. There are a lot of Venezuelans, but everyone seemed to be in a good mood and working efficiently, even for a holiday weekend.
That was probably one of the shortest border crossings I think we have ever had. The only thing that slowed it down is that there's a ton of Venezuelans and Colombians that are coming into Ecuador today because of the holiday, we think. Anyways, we are in Ecuador. We are finally legal. We've got all the paperwork. We've got our passports. All that's left to do is drive.
We were just flying the drone, everything was fine. We went around a mountain curve and lost signal completely. Trent just got out of the car and started sprinting back up the mountain. Usually when the drone loses signal, it just tries to land itself. We don't want it to land itself. We want to reconnect signal, redirect it, and get it to land somewhere safe. This is our third drone now in the span of less than 6 months. We've only had this drone for about a week. Tony brought it down from the States when he was in Colombia and Medellin last week. It's always a risk when you're flying the drone, but we had just updated all of our firmware, all of the software, everything has been good to go, good to fly. Losing the GPS signal is just unpredictable sometimes. So I can't see Trent anymore. He just ran around this curve. I'm really hoping he comes back holding a drone, but this day was just too easy, you know? Everything worked out too perfectly. There's gotta be something. So, come on, Trent, come on. It's been about 20 minutes since Trent jumped out of the car. I'm just parked here on the side of the highway. I don't know if that means the drone crashed and he went to go look for it, or maybe he's still running around a different mountain curve and had to run up higher on the highway than we thought in order to regain GPS signal. I'm hoping he's okay and the drone's okay. I don't know though.
I can't find it.
Okay.
Here. Don't turn that off.
Okay.
It's like down on the front of this mountain.
Okay.
And I climbed all the way down to like cliffs. And I can't reconnect to it.
Okay.
There's like a little family of indigenous kids.
Yeah.
And I like ran up to the house to like ask them if I could search their property because it looked like it was on their property. And they like, first they ran away from me.
Yeah.
They like thought I was an axe murderer. And then the one kid, the oldest boy, is probably like 12 or 13, started asking him like, hey, my drone is over there, like, can I go search? Is this your property? Or I was like, can you help me? Can you help me? And they just like looked at me like I was crazy. But then he said that I could, so I was like, can I search down here? And he was like, yeah. So I climbed like all the way down this face.
Oh my God.
And then, I ran all the way back up to almost where we launched it from.
Really?
And I couldn't connect to it anywhere.
Okay.
It makes no sense. I don't know how to get it other than to, maybe we end up below it and I can connect to it, or if it dies, I'll just have to climb up and find it. I think that's what it tried to do, is it tried to go home, but it didn't raise its altitude. So it just like flew towards the mountain until it stopped. And so I like either have to get to the bottom of the mountain or climb up to where it's at to even make reception with it. This road. I was like running through bush and like stickers and needles and little like lizards and snakes and bugs kept like scurrying out of the way. It was like freaking me out. Really, really glad I was wearing pants today. Well, I should have updated the location.
Yeah, it's back.
I literally am so pissed off, but I also love DJI because the software is fantastic. It went back to where we took it off from and it landed itself. I just saw it, but I think I'm still going to have a heart attack from how hard I was working to find it and stressing. I'm not really a happy camper right now, even though I'm ecstatically happy that the drone is back there.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Stupid, awesome drone.
Oh my God.
I have such mixed emotions right now. I'm an idiot, but also it wasn't really my fault.
Wow.
It's annoying. Never flying drones again.
Crisis mostly averted, but Wow, we're both just in a state of shock, I think, right now.
I would say the thing that sucked the most about that is that up until we got like within 20 feet of where the drone had landed, the controller was telling us it was halfway down this mountain. I climbed halfway down this mountain. It's like so frustrating that it was actually at the top and the controller was saying it was halfway down here. I'm like extremely grateful and so relieved that the drone is good and not even a scratch on it. It just returned back to where it took off from, no problems at all. But that was like the biggest anxiety, stress, exercise. Like I literally just ran on 100% adrenaline at like 110% pace for like 45 minutes. I ran halfway up this highway. I ran over to this little hut right here where I had some discussions with little kids that looked at me like I was speaking Chinese. Maybe they don't even speak Spanish. Maybe they speak an indigenous language. I don't know. But then I just started heading straight down the side of this mountain. And on the way back up, like I misstepped a few times and like the dirt would slide, and it's like so steep that like if I like actually fell and slipped, I probably would have gone down really, really far. It was like hands and knees type climbing up. And that was like just to come back to the van to say, hey, I have no idea where the drone is. Let's drive to see if we can find it. Enough stress for a lifetime. That 10 times more stressful than shipping the van and trying to fit the van into a shipping container.
Super stressful, nonetheless, but I think we're just gonna take a deep breath. We have a 2.5-hour drive ahead of us still. We're not gonna fly the drone again today. We're just gonna get to our destination and we'll pick you up when we get there.
I had a feeling things couldn't get any worse. But this is hail. And I don't know what the road to Kate's house is like, but I know she lives in the mountains. So let's just hope it's not like a muddy dirt road or something steep. It's been an exciting day.
Definitely more adventures than we bargained for today, so we're just pulled over, waiting out the rain, maybe gonna have a snack. What is this?
I can't do it as a surprise because you're just always around.
What are you doing?
It's your birthday tomorrow.
Babe, these are beautiful. And on top of it all, it's my birthday tomorrow. So we just made it to Kate and David's house, and wow, this day has just turned around 1,000%. We're parked outside, we have a beautiful temperature to sleep in the van, and they have made us homemade pork pies, fresh bread, and fresh cheese. This is our wonderful host, Kate, who has relocated from Britain to Ecuador and has kind of lived all over. And how long have you been in Ecuador now?
29 years, yeah. It's all yours, just make yourselves 100% comfortable. Because we're English and English are very unfriendly, so I'm just proving that actually we're not really, we're very friendly indeed.
Well, this food looks absolutely delicious. I think we are going to dig in, pick you guys up in a little bit.
What a good dog. Wow. Kate and David are letting us park their van at their house while we fly to the States in just about 48 hours. So we got here a little bit early so that we could get organized. And man, did we pick the right spot. They are just incredible, hospitable people, and I already feel so welcome and so at home. We're exhausted though. It's been a crazy day.
I'm just really glad that we still have a drone. That's all I could hope for.
Wow.
We want to thank you guys so much for coming along on this adventure with us today. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you show us by clicking the thumbs up button.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Click the notification bell so that you guys are notified when we post new videos. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Good night, everybody.